Welcome back to Finnegan's Farm, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and welcome back to Workshop Wednesday. My name is Paul, and this is our team.
Hello, I'm Mick, and I'm the mechanic.
Hello, I'm Caelan Russell, and I'm the mechanic.
Hello, I'm Sean, I'm the apprentice mechanic.
Hello, my name is Marco, I love to weld. This is Bruce, this is Blake, them two best students.
Don't forget to like, subscribe to the videos, and comment what you want, and we will get back to you. In for repair today, we have our Claas 860 Forage halves, a few small jobs to do that. We also have our JCB 4220. We have a BMW, small little convertible car there. We're not just quite sure whether Caleb has bought it or not, but yeah, stay tuned to that one. He has a small issue with it as well. And we'll also catch up with Marco as he is doing a spot of welding there on some of the Mashio rotovators. But before we get started, just want to draw attention to the Barn Dance, which takes place, it's the Kilmoon Music Festival, and it takes place on the 24th of June, Saturday the 24th of June in Cushinstown, AC. Yeah, it's a great fundraiser for cancer research and for local charities, and it's organised with the Fox family who've been running it there for the last number of years and do great work, so fair play to them on it. We have 2 tickets of a giveaway. Yeah, so if you can tell us how long has the Barn Dance been running for, put it into the comments below, and we will put your name out of a hat next week. We have 2 tickets for this week and a further 2 tickets for next week. So yeah, have a shot out there. How long has the Barn Dance been running for? And put in the comments below. First of all, we're going to head over to Caleb. We would have had the 4220 in, and we had some issues with it, the batteries not being charged. Now, we weren't just quite sure. Mick reckoned that the batteries went down because the alternator. Well, we did get the alternator checked out.
Well, the
trigger wire, yeah, the trigger wire was broken. He fixed that, and he reckoned then that because the batteries went down, that it wouldn't charge up, and then when he charged the batteries, hey presto, it was charging. He had 14 volts, but now the same thing has happened,
and it's not charging.
Charging.
What I'm thinking with that is, so because the batteries were charged up, I put them on charge, but I couldn't recreate it because he says once we were fully charged, started it was charging.
Yeah.
But what I started to think then, because it was a noise off the fan belt, if it's kind of squealing, that once the alternator was under load, the belt was slipping, because that's why it was just a little squeal off the belt.
Yeah.
Now, when I look in at it further, at the back of our tensioner here, there's the groove cut of the belt into the actual tensioner itself. So now if there's something wrong with either the belt has stretched, which generally you'd never really see, or idlers, which we do have one that's slightly rough. I remember changing the one in the actual tensioner itself before. It's perfect, but this one's not in great order. But then again, when I put the belt on and let the tensioner go, it's coming to its maximum limit. It's stopped. There is a stop spot on it. Now there's a dowel pin that holds the whole sort of frame of the tensioner, and it shouldn't ever spin. But I don't know if some stage in its previous life it got one, and maybe there's not a dowel pin in it or something, and it has changed. Because regardless, the tensioner's not doing anything.
Yeah. So while it's probably driving the fan, the fan is driving. When it comes under load, maybe it could be slipping.
Yeah, because you see, you have a bigger surface area on your fan itself.
Yeah.
And we know as well that the aircon wasn't working fantastic either.
Yeah, so there could be a few problems all in the one.
Yeah, now it was kind of tension. You can't put the belt on, obviously, when it's tension fully, but it is definitely coming to the maximum stop. So I think once the alternator's on the full load, it's slipping, and it's just not enough to drive the alternator itself.
Yeah. So we're going to have to take that tensioner off as such?
Yeah, so I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to see what it's like. Because I know by the feel of it, when you have a 1/2-inch ratchet, there should be a good pull to pull the tensioner down, and I'd nearly do that with a 1/4-inch ratchet. I don't want to probably do it. I'm here moving it with my hand now.
Yeah, so that's not right.
No, so I think tension is the first thing, because you get so caught up on things with the alternator. The alternator itself is checked out, its signal, everything on that end of it is fine. So that's where I'm looking. And
hopefully we have it pinpointed down to this.
Yeah.
So we'll clip that off and see what the problem may be. Square Baler in for, well, it done about 200 bales last year, and we need to do another 200 for this year. So Jack says, bring it in, maybe let's do a bit of square bale. Weather has been extremely good, so if you can't make a bit of hay this year, you're in tough luck. Now, Caleb is going to run through roughly what we need to know. He has done a little bit down in Tralee, haven't you?
Yeah, it was probably, any lad that has been in Tralee knows the square bale is probably the hardest exam you can do, but look, it's all in the timing of it, which we're not worrying about that.
Yeah, and it is fairly intricate now. Mick is away on his holidays, so Mick would be the man, and you would love to be stuck in the middle of this, but hard luck, Mick, on this one. Caleb is going to take your job. Now, it's very simple. Again, this has hydraulic pickup, and in and out, or up and down and in and out. So we have our services working. The 2130 was very obliging, and it started first time.
Yeah, 12 months.
12 months to the day, and it actually turned the key and away it went. So you can't beat the old 21 for a good start. Now, Calum,
Yeah,
what did you learn when you were?
Well, the basic principles of it anyways. We have our plunger arm in underneath this cover, which you can see. So we have our crank in here, and our auger is bringing our grass from right to left.
Yeah.
And it's basically just putting it in front of the plunger, and every time it comes back, it's pressing it. But on the back of our, what do you call it, our chute or whatever you want.
Your chamber.
We have our flaps on the sides, which we can set how tight it is. And the tighter it is, the harder it is for the bale to travel, and the tighter it'll pack the bale.
Yeah.
And after that, the knotting and the twining it is probably the most troublesome bit of it. But sure, look, it's not that.
Well, as we say, everything does happen so quickly that the needles comes up, it grabs the twine, it twists around, it ties it, puts a knot on it, cuts it, and back down again. So within a split couple of few seconds it is. Now we also have our flywheel here as well, which really creates the inertia for the plunger to. And if we open this cover, we should have it in here. And again, we have some flywheel protection that in the event that a lump did go in, we have a shear bolt on this as well. So again, it's just like a big heavy weight, and once you get that moving, it keeps it moving, and it keeps the plunger in and out all the time. So yeah, it's you can work it by hand, and it's fairly simple there. We can see it. We work it this way. It goes anti-clockwise, and that should bring your hay in from that side, or straw, whatever it is, in here into the plunger, pushes it down into the chamber and ties it. So we're just going to get it cleaned up now because there's a bit of hay left over from last year.
Yeah.
We'll give it a good cleaning, and we'll bring it in. We'll open up these where the needles come up. We'll open up, have a look at the knotters, clean out down all them. We might have to do a little bit of sandpaper, a little bit of fine tuning just to clean it up and leave it that it's good to go. But twine is still in it from last year, so hopefully everything should work out.
Yeah, look, with this, it doesn't need much maintenance, just the basic grease.
If now, we'll have to call Mick back from the holidays.
Yeah, we'll have to get him back.
We might want to do that.
He's in his element now, so he is.
Right, okay, well look, we'll bring it over the wash bay and get the lads to blow it down for.
So we can see the end of our chamber here. So we have a rake with our 3 tines that are coming down and pulling the grass inside in the chamber. Now, as our plunger's going forward, there's a fixed knife and the knife that's turning with the chamber, and they have to be well sharpened, just because it'll cut the grass nice and clean every time it goes through. Because as the plunger's gone past where the grass is being delivered, it's blocked off to stop the grass from coming in.
Close till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left.
We'll check on the 860 before she goes to work for probably the last time this year. A little bit of second cut silage to make, and we've a bit of a pit to fill. Boys just washed it down, cleaned my windows, which is fine. The only thing I see is the beacon has taken a little bit of a hit somewhere along the way. Probably in a tree, didn't really know was it, but get back to the yard and the beacon has fallen off of there. So we will have to get that sorted and get it back into the workshop to do that. Beacon up on top, but unfortunately seems to have no power. So probably more than likely, Calum, a fuse along the line.
Yeah, considering the beacon itself was dangling from the wires.
Yeah, and that was probably earthing off the chassis, so that's your power.
Exactly.
So there would have been a bit of it.
It's full of grass too here.
Yeah.
But when it came off, anyways, obviously, well, my guess is they would have snapped the fuse on it. So.
Now, as far as I can remember from last year, because we had some problems with
the reel.
The reel, yeah, and the fuses, I think, are in here. So we're going to just lift off this cover. Simple enough. Just to get her to stay up now is one thing.
It'll sit there, yeah.
It'll sit there, yeah. We take this wire is... That's for your two-way radio, is it?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. You know that Mick always loves the inline fuse somewhere along the way.
And here we have our cover. So it's just to find out now which fuse it's actually on. Which one of his, Caleb, we'll just have to, we see a picture of a beacon up here, which is a 15 amp, so we'll count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So 8 fuses.
8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So it's that 15 amp. Maybe just test it with the tester because it's probably the handiest way.
Yeah, so we've nothing on one side, and hang on. And I have should have 12. I've nothing on either now actually.
Nothing on either side.
But
We're just going to replace that fuse first. Is it blowing?
which it is. Oh, do you know what? Look at this. You can still.
You can still move it, yeah.
That's just one thing when it comes to fuses now. You can never always take for granted about actually just checking it with a meter, because this here with the way it has broke, not sure if you can zoom in enough. If the pins are close enough, they can still make a connection, which will give you a continuity check. It mightn't just be okay for actually holding the current, but you would get voltage. So we'll put a new fuse in it anyways. Make sure it's off. So 15 amp here.
Pop it in.
Oh, snap the fuse again.
So now we have another problem.
Yes. So we have when it's snapping fuses now, it's generally from a short circuit. So I'm after fitting another beacon there that was used from something, so we'll start by taking that off and we'll see where we go. Because if we take off that beacon there now and fit another fuse, turn it on.
Yeah, God knows that beacon might have been taken off for the same reason. Now I know it was sitting there and it looked good, but there's obviously something wrong with it as well. So maybe
it didn't have the signature Nick FKD, which anyone can figure what that one is.
We might go wrong one off something else. This is the one off the far side which is working.
Yeah. So once we took off the one that I had fitted, stopped snapping the fuses. Yeah. And that one has a bulb gone, which it probably rattled itself to pieces.
The bulb is gone in this one, but the only thing is when you put it up there, it is working. So
yeah, so it's not the wiring to it.
It's not the wiring. It's yeah. So I'd say we blame Mick for this one for taking it off, putting it back on the shelf, thinking, it'll do something else.
But you know, he probably knows what to fix on it. He knows the next time when it does the same.
He probably just hasn't got to get to fix it yet. That's all.
This is what was wrong with the bulb. There's nothing actually wrong with the bulb itself. The bulb is okay. It looks to be okay. But what we can see here in the wiring is it's gone high resistance from the bad circuit. Now, from corrosion, which as soon as I pulled it out, I'm after pulling the end of the spade connector. So I think we'll have to probably do away with this small bit of copper that's corroded. And because it was corroded, it had started to generate heat. That's what is the end of it. So nothing actually wrong with the bulb there on that one, but we will get that fixed up and then still have a good beacon pretty much. So it should be good to go.
So as you can see, Caleb has bought himself a lovely little car here, a lovely little convertible.
Yeah.
My God, it's some yoke.
I'm making it into a van now. It'll be some machine now.
We've got a toolbox in the back.
You can put down the roof. And
yeah, toolbox.
Exactly.
And he has even the jacket to prove it here, the BMW. Look at that.
Yeah, but that was a mistake. Now,
that was a mistake. A 120D, it's a diesel convertible, except that it's not really convertible at the minute because the roof won't go back. So we're not just quite sure. We reckon we had a problem here with this window, and this window wasn't going back down, and that window has to go down before the roof flips over.
Yeah.
So on further investigation, we see
the actual cable was snapped for the window regulator. So because the cable was snapped, the motor was able to spin freely. Now it's a calibrated motor, so it has its own Hall effect sensor inside in itself.
Yeah.
So once you put the window up fully and it becomes solid, it learns up, and when you put it down fully, it meets a stop, it learns when it's fully down. So even we said we'd try and get the window up or down or whatever, and leave it just to get this to open.
Because the weather is fantastic, and it'd be an awful shame not to get the top down tonight, wouldn't it?
I know, exactly. You don't even care, the window can stay down permanently, but from what I can see on this anyways, is like this here is the rear driver's side and the rear passenger side. The two of them down are in an intermediate setting, which is they're not fully up or down. They lock it, but they're probably just not. But I can move them anyways. And then it's showing here for the passenger door, it's open, so it's fully down.
Funny, yeah.
Now, the 4 of them have to say open before it'll actually let you put down the roof. But this one here for the driver's side, it's just saying 3, which means it's not calibrated. We'd have to get a new window regulator, cables, whatever.
It's in here of our 3-metre rotovator. This is the one we would have bought in at just there a couple of weeks back, just for a little bit of a push on. Now we did notice the skid was a little bit worn, but we said we'd get to it in time. It just kind of went beyond that. As you can see, it's completely banjaxed here. And the far one, while it's not just as bad, it still has the main frame attached to it. It needs either a new skid or what we have here is a spring. Yeah. Now this is the spring, I think, out of the Ford Ranger, which we would have changed a few weeks back on Workshop Wednesday. And rather than throw it out, the springs are very good because they're a hardened steel, aren't they, Marco?
Steel, yeah.
So what do? You'll cut that one?
Yeah, gonna cut this one and weld on top this one.
Yeah.
And be like new.
That's going to be like new. And then, because it is only a wearing part, so like it's not critical. This one here, this is a skid. I don't know which one it's off. It's off some of the rotovators. And it's very much the same, except for the back bracket here is a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, holes, not in line.
So what are you thinking?
Oh, gonna cut this.
Yep.
Oh, weld back. Move forward.
Move forward.
Yeah.
Or move it back, and hopefully that'll do it.
Oh yeah.
Now, it's a little bit. So that's it for this week's Workshop Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe, like the videos there, comment what you want. We will get back to you. Yeah, and if you're going to the barn dance, get your hats ready, guys, and get your hats ready, girls. So we will be all heading to the barn dance, everyone here in Finnegan's Farm. So we'll talk to you all next Wednesday.